My name's Craig Maber. I'm from a family of farm machinery dealerships. I originally grew up in New Zealand, where we've been in the farm industry since the late 1940s. My grandfather got into the farm machinery business, had a dealership, ended up having a couple of dealerships, and my father got involved in the late 70s, and we got into wholesale business with a Japanese company, grew that, and opportunities started coming up. We grew our dealer network. Eventually we ended up with Deutz-Fahr franchise, amongst other things, and we've really grown that in New Zealand, and on the back of some reasonable success there, we've worked very closely with the factory, and then we've started a project in Australia with them. So I moved to Australia after being in the business for a little while in New Zealand in 2002, and we started a business there, and today we have a business where we sell around 2,000 tractors annually in a market of around 12 to 13,000 tractors a year in Australia. We also do Kioti in Australia, and Deutz-Fahr's as our flagship brand, and we also do Versatile down there, so we have a full range of products, just with a few different brands. And so Australia was going pretty well, and we're talking with Deutz, and they have had a reasonable run, but thought there were some opportunities, so we got talking and came up with an idea that we thought, with some product development and some support with each other, that we've got some pretty good systems. Australia and America are very similar in terms of the market, in terms of the type of farmers, the type of farming, and some of our requirements we wanted for Australia. We kept asking the factory, can you get some development for row crop? Can you do some of these things, some more utility products? Because our market really wanted that, and they're really strong in Europe, very much in Germany and lots of parts of Europe. So it hadn't been a priority because the volumes hadn't been so big up here. So we sort of said, well, if we come up here and start getting into this and do this together, then how about doing some development on products? So that's sort of how it stemmed, and then after working through the process, we thought, yeah, there is a good opportunity up here. We travelled up here a lot of times. We know and trust the factory pretty well, and I've seen the development. Now they've got factories in Germany, brand new factory just finished within the last 12 months in Germany. They've just upgraded their Italian factory for all the utility and fruit and nuts and all that type of products, specialist products. They've now got a utility factory in India. They've got a factory in China, which they don't export from at the moment, but that's for the domestic market, but maybe one day. And they also have a factory in Turkey as well. So they've really spread themselves right around, so they can cover the premium top-end products. They've got the utility market sorted, and also for the utility market that's really been driven by low-cost manufacturing now. All the majors are doing it, like Deere and CNH and everyone. So we can compete with anyone at all sorts of levels, and it offers a good range to help find a dealer network. So based on that, we came up with a plan with Deutz, and we've really come in and taken over from two distributors. They're one on the west coast, one on the east coast, and so we essentially ended up buying them out and combining the business to make it a stable platform for the whole of America, a bit like the others, just to give it an even keel and some consistency as well. And then we thought, if we're going to do this, we need to do it properly. We need to give our potential new customers some reason to trust us and believe in it. So we've invested in Atlanta in a brand new facility, headquartered there now. We've got a multi-million-dollar facility which we're really just set up now, and this is really the show up here in Louisville and also in Tulare is really our launching pad in terms of marketing. We've got product on the ground. We've done an OEM deal for front-end loaders with Quickie, who we are the distributor for in New Zealand and Australia. So we've got a long history with them also, so that makes sense. So we've really got our facility. There's some things we're focusing on. We really want to find some strong dealers, but we're a really personal service. So we want to work with them. We understand the business. We have 16 retail branches ourselves in New Zealand. We've been in the wholesale business for a long time, so we understand the business. We know what the needs are of dealers. and we think we can do it a little bit different. We believe in training. We've got 2 big training facilities down there at our new place for service, for parts, for sales, for you name it. We can do a lot there. So we intend to really try and upskill the people at the dealerships as well to be able to know the product so they can support it well, because if you want to do well in this industry, you need to be able to look after your customers. So yeah, so we've done that, and it's built from what we've learned over a long period of time on efficiently putting together tractors, because we get them in containers, semi-knockdown, so we have to do some assembly of the tractors, fit front-end loaders, so we've got a crane system in there, and we've got some good people from the industry to come in and join us as well and start that as well. So, but we've gathered a core team of people now. I think we're up to about 14 or 15 people now in total in the country. And now I think we're at a stable point. We've got an agreement for finance with PFG Credit, which is a partnership with DLL, which we've had for a long time in Australia and New Zealand, and we've extended that now to here. So we'll be offering PFG Credit, so we'll have finance and leasing and floor plan options for farmers and for dealers alike. So you need a package to be able to offer, one to provide a good service to dealers, and 2 to be able to provide a good service for dealers as well. So, we intend to work with the dealers we've got, and then start to look for new opportunities, and grow steadily, but manage the growth so we can handle it and grow with it. And certainly we'll be doing that as our products develop. And today we have a product range which really, we've got a couple of fruit tractors and orchard tractors, and then we really started about 100 horsepower and cabin tractors and go up to the bigger ones. We're starting to work on some row crop options as well, which Deutz haven't really done before. So that's in the process. So we'll have a good row crop range coming in the near future. We'll have normal tractors for dairy and what have you, and then good utility. And then coming over the next 6 to 24 months, we'll introduce a utility range. We'll have a mid-range of high horsepower 4-cylinder tractors, and a variety of different tractors for different applications over the next 2 to 3 years as well. So, we'll sort of try and manage that to grow and fill in areas where the tractors suit the areas as well. So that's sort of where we're at this point in time. So our business is, like I said, we've been in business for a long time. We're very passionate about the industry and the business. We don't do other things. We're not in the automotive business. We're not in the construction business. We're an agricultural machinery business. Tractors is the biggest part of our business. In America, it is our business. In Australia and New Zealand, we also do a lot of machinery. We're McHale. We do Kverneland products with Vicon. Like I said, we're also Quickie. We do Maschio. So we do a range of other products to suit the markets we're in. But the other thing as well, we're well organised. We've been in business for a long time. We've been successful and made profits, but we're not really flamboyant and spend it on crazy things. We've really injected a lot of money back into the business for our growth. So we really have no debt. We are very well funded. We have $150 million cash reserves to invest, and more than anything, it's the passion of the business and the opportunity that we see to grow and to do that. But that's it. So, funding-wise, we're very stable, so we can invest properly. I think one of the things that's happened in the past, there's been a lot of changes, and I think one of the reasons why, Deutz Group, they've, been a consortium, Sami Deutz Fahr Group, of a multitude of brands, and they've had multiple brands in the market at the same time and conflicting products, and that's very hard to make dealers happy. And I think now that they've sort of formalised their export business into one strong brand, and Deutz being that, and got a full line of product, I think that's really helped, because when you look for a dealer, you can offer them a product that's unique. They don't have to scrap against their neighbour with the same product with a different colour. And it adds value to the brand, and that can grow as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why it can work this time, and we've really proved that in Australia. We came in at the start of that in Australia and New Zealand, and have done that, and you sort of had to come down to go up. So you had to take a step back when the brands went combined to one, but in the long run you get stronger dealers, you get more loyal customers, and you can start to grow your business, and that's what's really happened. And we've really grown, considerably over the last 10 years. And now this opportunity's come up. I think the other thing is we've got to know the family that owns Deutz really well. Our family's still a family business. There's only shareholders as myself, my brother, and my mother and father who still live in New Zealand. My brother does too and looks after the New Zealand business. So I've moved up here 6 months ago in August with my family. I have a wife and 2 children. So we're quite excited about the opportunity, and my wife's brother lives in the US, so she's quite happy to be up close to him as well, so that helps. But we're excited to be here, and I think this time it can be different because we've taken the stances. We need to invest in this market. We're not coming here to do it slowly and try and make some money from the start. We've invested heavily. We don't expect to make a return for a couple of years. We're lucky enough to be in a position to do that, but we believe if we put the foundations in properly and invest heavily in all sorts of things like having stock on the ground, having the right financing, training in people, offering the right packages, all of those types of things, getting the right staff, training our staff, doing all those sorts of, if we do the groundwork properly and get it right, then the business will start to come. And we've done that before. We're lucky enough that all of our systems we have, so we can migrate those over. We can rely on the support from our back offices now because communications are so good with Australia and New Zealand. So we're lucky in that sense as well. And we've been in the business so long, we have a lot of contacts in the country and we know a lot of people anyway. So it's, coming in, we see a lot of familiar faces and there's a lot of opportunities. So, and that's why we think it's different this time. Deutz hasn't been at the farm show for a lot of years, and we've been really beavering away, getting ourselves ready to be able to support sales and growth and all that type of thing. So up until this point we've been doing that, and now we're ready. So we thought, what better than this week with 2 big farm shows, one in Tulare which we're at, and also the one here. And we've got to show people we're here, and we're serious. So that's why we've got a big stand. We couldn't get a place inside this thing, so we had to think outside the square, and we came up with a pretty nice place in the lobby, and we managed to get some tractors out front and some big signage and stuff. So we really want to tell people we're back seriously in the market and we've got something a bit different to offer. And if you're curious, come and talk to us. You've got nothing to lose. So, and we want to show farmers and dealers alike that, hey, this is different this time. I don't think Deutz has ever done something like this in the US before, and we need to do it different if we want to be successful. The family that owns Deutz is the original Sami family. So they bought Deutz in 1995. So in Europe, Sami is a very strong brand. In Italy, especially in the southern Mediterranean states, France and Spain and Portugal and some other ones as well. So that's a strong brand. And Europe's such a long history with brands that they've kept a lot of those. But in the major export markets outside of that, really Deutz has been the brand that they're pushing forward in the future. So yeah. Essentially now, instead of being so much like different brands for different things, you've really got production facilities. So you'll see the high horsepower 6-cylinder tractors, the real strong tractors that do a lot of hours and work will come out of Germany. They're brand new, $100 million facility they've just built there, which is incredible. They've just put another lot of money into the factory into Italy, and that's where we get all of the 4-cylinder, the utility tractors and specialist fruit tractors. They've been a leader in that type of thing for a long time. So, we should be very strong in terms of orchard, vineyard, nuts, all that type, because they have an incredible range of products and a long history of doing it. So that's quite exciting. And now I'm very excited because there's a big market and a big need for dealers for utility products as well. And I mean, if you're not in countries that have a low cost of production, you know, it's very hard to compete. I mean, all the majors have done it, and Deutz have been there for quite a long time now, and so a lot of the stuff coming out of those countries gives us a quality product. It's got, you know, Deutz engineers, you know, Deutz quality control, but they've set it up and where they can produce it for the right price to make it a competitive package for the market. So. One, desire and passion to do the business, ability to grow and ability to service the dealers, so, and location as well. So, you know, and I think it's a package of those things, but we're on people that, you know, want to grow and are excited to be in the business and do it as well. And I think there's a lot of people out there looking for something a bit different, and I think there is, and we can offer something a little bit different. So previous to us being here, they were managed from two parts of the country, one in Ohio and one in sort of central California. So those two make sense. We've got a group of dealers around those. They've got a history for recent sales. And in fact, the people that we combined the businesses with have come to join us as well. So Ryan, who was running the business up in Ohio, has come on board with us and joined us and is going to look after the region. And Bob Chase, who's also worked for the actual factory themselves and was part of the company that owned the business on the West Coast, has come on and joined us. So we also took over the parts warehouse and distribution centre on the West Coast in Kerman, just outside Fresno in California. So we have a parts warehouse that looks after the mountain country and also the West Coast, and we've got some parts people out there based over there as well. So, and we think, I mean, I see a lot of opportunity in the middle and the southern states as well in the future with our product development. So, you know, and for a lot of reasons, Atlanta makes sense. There's an infrastructure there's other ag companies there, so there's a bit of an infrastructure, very good for logistics. If we need to travel and get to places quickly, the airport's very good to get places. The major port that we get stuff into is in Savannah, and it's, you know, two big highways converge, so it's a good distribution point. So that's why we've set our main parts warehouse up and our main headquarters there for the country. So.